that whole DIY Alaska Hunt Academy is almost 4 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's 4 hours of nonstop, B-roll and conversation. And again, I extract myself from the situation and I put myself in there and I say, okay, if I wanted to go to Alaska and do a DIY hunt, what questions would I have? And I know that's what you guys did, especially Casey, when you're writing the whole thing. That is it answers every question. And it is almost a must watch, a must participate in deal if you're going out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everything that we've learned the hard way, and we've that we wish we had a resource for, and now we've put it on to a resource for somebody because there's a lot. A lot of people just go up there and get a tag. There's so much to consider. We go through the nutrition, we go through the fitness level, we go through, everything that you can think of to get ready. And sometimes I would encourage, if you're going to think about this, watch it a year in advance.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Take the time to go through it. Watch it a year in advance and start to watch the preparation and look at some of the digital products that are coming along with this and follow the plan to a T. And then you'll have a much more enjoyable hunt because that's some of the hardest thing is the prep. We've known that we've been going on drop for over a year now. And we've been planning that entire thing, and we've been looking at how we're going in. Yeah, we're just getting to the flights, if you will, right now. But at the end of the day, everything else is locked in, like where we're getting dropped off, where we're going to get picked up, those types of things, how we're going to hunt this. I mean, we've gone through and done all of that. So that's the exciting part. Yeah, I think going back to what you're talking about, Jay, I'm excited. It cannot get here fast enough. And there's... For you guys, let me ask you this question. The anticipation, obviously, of going on a trip like that, going on dropped, when does it hit you that we're going in? Like, I know I have a specific thing like that always, like when we land in Fairbanks, obviously you're tired, or we land in Anchorage, whatever it is, you're tired, you just go to sleep. When I wake up the next morning and I put on the uni for the cold weather, if that makes sense, like because Anchorage is usually right around 50 degrees. That time you put the costume on, right? It's like I'm putting on the gear that I'm going to be in, so you're layering up a little bit, and then we're going around town. What about you guys? Is that same thing? Is like when you put on those clothes and you're like, okay, we're in the cold weather. It's time. It's shifted. You know, that's usually for me. I'm like, oh, and the smell of Anchorage and Fairbanks. Well, not Anchorage as much. Downtown Anchorage, it doesn't smell very well, but Fairbanks is good.
Yeah, so. No, I think it's the weather for sure. Once you land, you feel that crispness.
Yeah.
I mean, usually we're leaving in August and it's 80s and sometimes 90s here. But I'll say how much I track weather.
Oh, God,
the weather man.
I'm surprised you don't have it already.
Well, so for me, the reality hits when it's 2 weeks out because that's my 14-day forecast. I sit there and I start checking the patterns up in Fairbanks. What do we got? What do we got looking at? How are those flights going to be going into the bush? How many Xannies and cocktails am I going to have to imbibe?
Imbibe.
But that's usually what it's like, okay, it's 2 weeks out. Damn, it's coming up.
It's coming. You're looking at wind patterns and shear.
Yeah.
You're looking at all. I'm just looking to see what the temperature is. You're looking at everything.
I look at it all.
Yeah,
look at it all.
What about you, Case?
On the reverse side, so I'm all in with the weather. When you get there, the weather feels right. When you put the boots on for the first time, like when you're up there, it's like, all right, here we go. But the real kicker for me is when I hear that first bush plane.
Yeah.
When we get there and I hear that first, you hear a beaver fire up in the distance, that unmistakable just, it's like, oh man.
The smell of avgas in the morning is in the air, and you're like, okay, now it's time. The other thing is strapping a 10 millimeter to your waist and just like going to the grocery store. It's another thing that's kind of a dead giveaway. It's like, oh, those guys are going in the bush for sure. And you see other guys doing it too. It's like you're walking around and everyone's getting things and you're like, it's time to go in the bush.
But I think there's a stark difference between running a linear television show or a long-form story, which Outdoor Channel, that's our partner for that. Mm-hmm. But for us, there's so many different things that do not fit on linear television
100%.
That we had to build this app for. So it's not about building it because of X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
Or because something's not working. It's building this app so we can create the future for us.
Yeah, exactly. It's the evolution of an industry and technology. This has been going on in other spaces, and we've talked about this before, Casey. I mean, in the nutrition space, in the gym space, the fitness space, the cook space, all these things, this has been going on for a long time. It's just our industry is behind, and now it's the evolution of things as the technology becomes available, then we take that to our advantage. And that's just what you have to do, and be thinking about that as a business. And I would recommend that for any producer that's out there. You know, if you're looking at what's your next thing, you know, I'd focus on you and what do you have that you can offer, and where can you put it, because it's available. And then call us and we'll build it for you.
And we'll build it. That's right.
Call us.
That's actually, it's probably the most exciting part for me, I think, that the app is going to give us, is a true two-way conversation back and forth with our audience. Because this is how I look at it. I'm not necessarily interested in people just coming to the app to see what we're up to. Like, that's not the purpose of this app. The purpose of the app for Keefer Brothers is to be of service to people. We've got 20 years worth of information and in-depth information and knowledge that we can take and share with people. Is it going to be high entertainment? You're damn right it's going to be. That's what we do. But I want the app to be a service to people. I'm always thinking about, what's our value? What are we trying to give people? What are they going to take away when they leave watching our stuff? And what can they learn? And how can they be better from what they've seen or what they've done and interacted with us in some way, shape, or form? That's what the app does, is it gives us that two-way. And that's something that we could never have through television in the past. And we'll never have that through television in the future. It's a phenomenal outlet for the style of content that we put there, but it doesn't allow us to be a service to people and help better people's lives in that way. So I think that's where this app comes in, and that's why I think it's going to kick ass, because we're going to be interacting back and forth with people. They're going to have access. We're going to have access to them, and together we're just going to go do the best shit we can possibly do. You know, and that to me is really exciting.
Yeah. I would 100% agree with that. It's a well-oiled machine at this point, because, you know, we've done it enough, but there's just a level of chaos. To your point, it's a controlled chaos all the way through, but there's something about that adrenaline on those days. It's just like, it's higher than others. You're just on. And the other thing is, you're going in, and we've flown that, you know, Fairbanks to Brooks, I don't know how many times, but enough. It's just gore. You're taking it in, right, at the same time. And then you know you're getting close, so I'm watching the instruments, and I can see the ETA and where we're at, and I start to recognize.
I watch the instruments.
Oh, you're constantly watching the instruments. I'm just looking at the ETA. You're looking at the balance of the plane, everything. So when we're going in there, but I like watching that, because now I know, okay, I know we're coming up, and then it starts, and I go, now we're on the river, because I recognize, you know, some of the rivers, and it's like, okay. Then I start looking. I mean, you're just staring. You're boring a hole. You're looking for anything you can see, because you want to know. And a lot of these guys are really good about flying you upstream, right? Especially if you're floating. Like, they'll come in low on a valley, and then they'll take that up. And it just gives you that bird's eye view of what is about to come for us, maybe 7 days later. But it's like, okay, that log jam wasn't there, or these rock gardens are showing themselves because the water's low, or, you know, there's 2 moose right there that we need to mark, because in 6 days we could be down there, and we know that there's a cow there. So it's just those types, and it's so much happening. But man, you're right, Casey. When it goes away and everything's done, the camera shut off, there's a high five, and everyone just sits down for a minute, because it's like you're just exhausted.
Well, you're finally there.
But the work doesn't stop. That's when the work actually begins, because now camp has to be set, wood has to be split, the things have to be done. So you're not done, but there's just a sense of like, okay, I'm in it now. Like, you don't care if you're getting dirty, you don't care if you're muddy at this point, because you're going to be here for the next 30 days and you're going to stink. So you're just in it at that point. And when you succumb to that, it's like the best feeling in the world. Like, you're in the wild, and you're like, yep, doesn't matter, let's go. And I think that's just so cool.
And day one doesn't have the pressure of hunting, because you can't hunt and fly in the same day.
Exactly.
So day one is like, let's get our shit right. Let's get camp right. Let's get rafts going. Let's get production gear out. Let's break all that shit out and make sure that we're good to go. Everything's in working order. And then it's like, man, starting day 2, we kick off. But, you know, to the fly-in, there's just one more thing I want to touch on as far as that goes. It's to the point now where, just based on how many times we've gone out there, I know exactly when to put on Creedence Clearwater Revival, Run Through the Jungle for the final approach.
Yes.
Because dude, that like it's that song when I listen to Run Through the Jungle, usually I start with like Fortunate Son.
Yeah.
And then I get to Run Through the Jungle and I'm like, fucking right, let's go.
Mama say it's a new day song.